Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play. So, as you can see, I haven't moved since the last part. In fact, I just, unlocked the Weeping City? Yeah, use the Duty Finder to enter the Weeping City. So, because I'm actually nearby to one of the first level 60 dungeons you'll unlock, Neverreap, I'm going to go do that. It's a pretty easy dungeon, we'll probably blow through it. It's one of the easiest dungeons that there is. It's just really annoying for people that have cast times as part of their... Actually, the last boss is kind of just annoying to everyone, but people with cast times will especially feel the pain when it comes to the bosses here. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. I mean, as of this recording, it's 4:20. I'm not going to make any memes. I promise you I'm not going to make any memes referring to that. But that means it's exactly 2 months from the launch of Stormblood, the next expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of news and stuff coming out over the next couple of months. Early access is even less than that, less than 60 days until we'll be playing Stormblood. Honestly, I think they did a pretty decent job of making it feel closer than it was. I mean, I think about the most recent update we got. I think about the things I've managed to do closer to the end of the expansion, and it feels pretty in line with I guess, how long of a wait there actually is until the next expansion. It could just be me. You know, I don't know. It might just be me. Wait, did I actually unlock this already? Am I just flying over here for no reason? Did I already unlock Neverreap? Did I do that in an earlier episode? I did that in an earlier episode. Okay, so pretend I'm not flying over to actually hand in the quest like I thought it was going to. Let's just queue immediately into it. After Neverreap, we'll probably do the other level 60 dungeon. But this is one of the first things you're going to be doing to gear up. Now, I'm going to say this every episode, since I don't know if people saw some of the previous episodes. If you were doing clan hunts from level 53 on, you may not even need to do these dungeons, but it is worthwhile to do for the first time bonuses in the means of Tomestones of Lore. If you're still watching this before Stormblood has released, Tomestones of Lore are a pretty standard way to get your item level up, going into the 3.0 to 3.55 dungeons. Heck, you probably still need to actually do it post Stormblood release, or it's not a bad idea to do it post Stormblood release. Probably because, you still need to go through the main story, so it should still, in theory, be a good idea to abuse these first-time bonuses and those clan hunts to get your item level up so you can just kind of blow through the main story quests and then not need to worry about stopping to gear up anymore. I'm going to pull up the Duty Finder on my list while I talk to you guys for a minute here. It shouldn't be a long queue. It's part of the level 60 roulette, so I imagine it probably won't take us more than another maybe minute or two. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm curious to see if I can, like, speed release some of these really close to the expansion launch. Because we've been doing about one a week, and obviously you guys know at this point 8 weeks to go would mean 8 episodes to go. And there's so many things left to do on this character that I feel like in May or maybe even early June, I might want to blast YouTube with a bunch of these of us getting through everything and ready for Stormblood. I would like to release the Let's Play for this where I finish the main story like days before Stormblood releases. It's like, okay, 3.56 is done. I'm ready to go. Let's get into 4.0, and then everyone's super excited. We'll see if that actually ends up happening, though. I always have a lot of ideas, as you guys who watch the series know. They don't always pan out, so we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, just in case, I don't know how much longer this is going to take, so I'm going to cut away and then cut back when my queue actually pops, so I'll see you then. Alrighty then, so we finally got a queue. It actually took about the 5 minutes that it ended up saying that it was going to take. Fingers crossed that, oh, no, I don't want to do that fate. Fingers crossed that that DPS presses yes. DPS, please. You probably don't even know you're queuing into Neverreap right now because you're doing a roulette. So pay attention. DPS. DPS. Please. Please? No? 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 He's going to do it at the last second. No. Alright, well, I guess it... Alright, instant requeue. Luckily, I'm a healer, and filling a DPS slot goes relatively fast. Tank. DPS. Tank. Okay, DPS. DPS. Are you related to the guy from the first queue? Because it seems that, Okay, no, you're not. No, you're the. If you are related, you're the favorite. You are your parents' favorite, or at least you're my favorite. I don't know. So Neverreap. Neverreap is a dungeon that is notorious for knocking players up via tornadoes, and the bosses do it too. So it's gonna be a good time. Oop, not this Suna. Every time. I'm not even gonna say it. There we go. So it starts with this little section right here. Yeah, first time bonus. Tanuvanu is going to give you a bunch of lightning orbs, or thunder eggs, as they're more correctly called. And you basically use them to get through the dungeon. There's no consequence. Like, you can't misuse them, so don't even think about it. So the first pull we have right here, you can pull these enemies separately. The Wamura goes back and forth, and then you have the Tokotokos here and the buzzards on the other side. He probably, no, he was waiting for somebody else who was lagging behind a little bit. So our DPS aren't crazy. Actually, I forgot. There is item level sync here, so I actually don't know what the standard is considered to be. He doesn't have dark side on. So this is one of those scenarios where I'm going to maybe try and avoid holying a little bit. Nah, whatever. I'll let him get his dark prices off, actually. A lot of Dark Knights, like, it's faster for me to holy and to kill the group. But you know what? A lot of Dark Knights get very, very antsy if you holy during their blood price. So you know what? I'm going to let his blood price wear off, and then I'm going to holy. And you know, he's probably thinking in his head right now, you know what? Good job, White Mage. I'm cool with you DPSing. But I really appreciate the effort you put to not interrupt my blood prices. And you know what? It's for those moments that we live. First pull, as you can see, is super easy. None of the pulls here are particularly bad. I mean, there's some later on that can get really hairy if the DPS is kind of low. And our DPS isn't super high. It's not bad, it's just not, you know, excessive. Like, we didn't kill that enemy pack super fast. Which means if we do large pulls on some of the later stuff, it may be a little bit tougher for me to get some DPS out without doing this all too frequently. You guys hear that every episode. Like, that's even new anymore. So there's two ways people do this part. Sometimes they pull it all the way to that pack over there, and sometimes they pull this pack, that pack, which it looks like he's going to do. Oh, that was weird. And then they go backwards. Looks like he's going to do all of them, which means I definitely don't want to interrupt his blood price. I'm going to let his blood price run its mark. As you can see, the Tokotoko over there wants nothing to do with us. He's got his Shadow Wall running. He's got his Dark Dance running. His blood price, yeah, there's his blood price. I'm going to throw Arrow 3 on, and then I'm going to go back to healing him. And then when I see blood price at about 4 seconds, I'm going to get my holies in. Now, those tornadoes will, like I said, they'll knock you up. They're pretty rude. Oh shit, hold on. I almost screwed that up big time. Ooh, I could still screw it up. Yep, no, he's good. I mistargeted with one of my heals. He would probably been like, oh, if you weren't in cleric stance, that wouldn't have happened. No, it probably still would have happened because I just targeted myself instead of, you know, everything else. Eh. Alright, we're stable. And as you can see, if you just kind of hug this inside corner, or if you see that little section over there where the tree is on the far part of the island, that's another spot where people usually take the first couple of pulls and drag them there. We're almost, by the way, the first boss is right after this, so. You know me, I was playing a little conservative when it comes to this segment right here. I'll get the Stone Skin 2 off right before the boss fight. This next boss fight's a joke. Like, you can't actually die falling off there, by the way. It looked like I kind of could, but you can't. So this boss jumps in the air 3 times, and it's super annoying. You'll see what I mean pretty shortly into the fight. So he's got the cleave, whatever. I'm going to throw some dots up on him. And then he's going to do this attack right here, about 85%. He goes completely invisible and spawns somewhere around the arena. You basically have to run around in the mist until you aggro him. There you go. So I found him. And then you kill this shadow, which, by the way, is, as you can see, completely passive until you actually start attacking it. There's also AoEs dropping, and you need to stay in range of him to actually see him. Now, these feathers will explode if you don't kill him fast enough, so usually you just kill them as soon as he's dead, and it's no big deal. Normally, they don't die before he does, but depends on the group. Now, the second time he does this, there's going to be more feathers. That's pretty much it. That's all the mechanics of the fight. Except now there's going to be more feathers the second time he does it. Should probably... Now, the one thing that's really annoying about this boss is that there's no really good time as a DPS to do your opener, because he's going to do, once again, he's going to fly away right here. And he does it so short into the fight. That's what really annoys people about the bosses here. Most of them have these, like, invulnerabilities that happen very frequently. And so you just end up with a bunch of situations where you don't actually get to really do anything, if that makes sense. I'm just going to wait for the feathers, and then start killing those. See, like, that's normally how it does. People finish the fake boss before going after the real boss. That's kind of like the normal way that people do it. Not like there's a needed way to do it. And I think he'll summon a few more feathers right here. You could choose to kill them, or you could choose to just Zerg the boss down. Most groups Zerg the boss down here, but it looks like our DPS probably are going to go out of their way to actually kill it. He is so low health that, like, killing the feathers here is almost never something people actually do. That one guy is at least trying to do it. But as you can see, boss dead. He's got a very, very low health pool. Now, the dungeon itself drops item level, what is this? 160 loot? And drops literally 160 everything. And then, of course, tombstones. I forget what the total is. That one was only worth 5 tombstones. That is a low count, my friends. So the next pull, we've got some Vundu, and we've got some totems. The most you can pull right here is these 4 enemies, because it's locked off until after you kill them. But these enemies, they hit a considerable amount harder than the last bunch. So this is where groups start to kind of run into issues if, you know, hold on. I just don't feel like dealing with a dark... I don't know if he's going to be the Dark Knight that, like, is okay with me holying or not, so I'll just wait. I'll just wait before I start doing the holy spam. I actually don't want to holy spam too much on this pull, because the next pull, I need more MP. Or at least I'm presuming that I will, just based on the way that that pull usually goes. So there's the arrow 3. That'll be the last one. And then I'm going to grab this treasure coffer right here. Didn't have anything in it, really. Had clear prisms, but who cares? Oh, cleric heals are OP. Oh, there's still a whole enemy left. Alright, well, I'm just going to chill. So this next pull, when people do this next pull big, this pull is dangerous. So at this point, you probably know that if you're fighting bees, they have Final Sting. If they have Final Sting, you got to be worried. That should be ingrained in your head at this point as a player. However, this is one of those situations where I don't care if he doesn't want the holy, because he's getting it. Holying these guys to stun them is both a calculated risk and it helps quite a bit. You know what I just remembered? I just literally haven't been assizing this whole time. So I'm going to try to keep his health near top, because I'm not keeping track of any final stings that might be coming out here. So if one starts charging and he's not at full health, he's not going to die, but it's not going to be pleasant. These guys actually, I feel like these enemies in particular are a little easier to deal with than the standard B-type enemies. I don't know what it is about these ones. It just feels like they don't... this guy's dealing with some stuff. There's one. There's a final sting, but he died before he got to do it. And then this one's the only one left, and it didn't get to do it. All right, so it went pretty smooth, actually. Then we just killed the tree, and it's done deal. I know you're probably looking at my MP right now and going, Happy, you should probably start assizing. And you know what? You'd be right. I should have been assizing about 10 minutes ago. So, You're not wrong. But the good thing is you, as the viewer, know. So you can yell at me all you want, because you know how to do it. That's all that matters. Knowing is half the battle. Okay, I'm not going to make any more references like that. I promise. Promise. Alright, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Alright. And I'll just do that, because I'm running kind of low on MP here, because I haven't been sizing the whole time. So, I'll just kind of chill out. I'll throw another arrow 3 on. How about that? Maybe throw an arrow 2 and an arrow 1 on this guy. Throw a regen on you, and then I'm good to just wait. You're probably thinking, oh, that machinist could be playing MP. I'm actually glad he's not playing MP. I'd rather he do the damage. I'm fine MP-wise. Ultimately, my goal as a healer is to keep people alive. If I have to stop contributing DPS to do that, then that's fine. He shouldn't, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not so desperate for MP on pulls like that where he should be doing things. He should be providing me with that debuff. So I like to take a little bit of extra responsibility in this boss. This is the second boss, Kanu Vanu. He has one main mechanic. He'll drop totems on people's heads and then do a large summoning circle around them. The large summoning circle will actually animate the totem, and when the totem is animated, it makes him invincible. So see, this mark right here is it being dropped on the head. I like to have it so that the tank and the healers are solely responsible for this, but a lot of the times you're seeing the DPS take responsibility for it as well. I generally like to, as a healer, make sure the DPS never have to pick up the totems, and that they can DPS the whole time with 0 downtime. The Dragoon took it entirely upon himself to do it in the way that he did it. So I'm not going to sit here and tell him, no, don't do it, don't do it. Let him do it, okay? But this totem right here, I'm not going to make the ranged DPS, who is the person who it actually fell on, responsible for it. But it looks like, yeah, no, we're fine. And as you can see right there, the tank actually took the responsibility of the other guy. So he's kind of following that same mentality. Other than that, the boss does very minuscule damage. He's got an attack called, I think it's called Moro Cloud. And Moro Cloud just makes it so that, it's going to be back here, no doubt, yeah. See, this is one of those situations where everybody kind of needed to contribute, but we shouldn't have been stacking them so closely anyway. Yep, we actually managed to get them all out in time. So that's the ability, Moro Cloud. All it does is put a strong dot. I can easily just cleanse it right away. Put some dots up. You know what else I haven't been doing? Using cooldowns. Just kind of focused on doing the teaching and less on the playings. Alright, everyone's grabbing one. Keep in mind that if you try to run and while you're running put them down, there's a good chance you drop them behind you and it's still in the circle. Also, if it's in your hand when it's actually supposed to be doing that spawn thing, then it will spawn. It will just fall out of your hand and spawn one of those ads. If you do that right, you can pretty much kill him before he even gets maybe a third set down, or maybe you kill him as the third set is going down. But the way we did it was fine. Just a little bit slower. I definitely could have contributed more. But I am, I don't know how item level synced I am, if that makes sense. I'm not 100% certain how item level synced I am. Basic, I don't know what I'm saying. No, just ignore me. Alright. This part has some pretty strong enemies. So those water pillars, if you stand in them, it kind of messes with your vision. And does some damage over time. Not a lot, but it does something. And you're going to pull these two divine wasps. And then wasps. And then most groups will pull to this little water wall. You can't pull past the water wall. I want to say waterfall so bad. The main enemy here is the Hakulak. What he'll do is he has an attack that he'll instant cast that basically Oh, there you go. That basically gives Vuln stacks to whoever it hits. So if it hits the tank, they take a lot of damage. You can stun it, or you can actually, I don't think you can silence it, but you could stun it, or you could just AoE them down, and it's whatever. He's got no MP anyway, and his blood price is up, so I'm just going to AoE a little bit here. And I think we're good. I think the Hakulok's dead. Is it? Yeah, the Hakulok's dead. These Divine Wasps, actually, I don't think these things have Final Sting, now that I think about it. I think these are a set of Wasps that actually just straight up don't have it. And as you can see, these Water Pillars, I didn't see that Mithrite Shell. I'm going to cast one more Stone Skin on him here, since he definitely is going to have a half-strength Stone Skin if he goes in after that. Now, these Dalmels hit really friggin' hard. You don't have to kill them. You can actually pull them to this next water wall and then kill all the enemies at the water wall and leave these guys behind. But, I mean, honestly, most groups just kill all of them. It's whatever. You're just AoEing enemies, you know? But just keep in mind how strong these enemies can be, because it's substantial how much damage these Dalmels can deal, especially if a tank can't see the AoEs because of, well, any reason at all, really. Oh, so he blood priced after that holy went off, so forgive me, please. When I did that holy, it was fine. I'm going to chill a little bit. All right. And we're good. I got plenty of MP to do some AoEs. He's got plenty of health. I haven't even had to use my... Oh, that was the attack. So see how he's got the Vuln stack? Luckily, they're almost all stunned or dead. But it can be Asunid. So his is the only one I really need to worry about getting rid of. Because everybody else's is like, whatever. Like, with the only... We shouldn't be taking hits other than more AoEs at that point. So it's not really a big deal. And that's on to the final boss. So this final boss is the one that's notorious for making casters hate them. Or hate this dungeon, because he just knocks people up constantly. That's all this boss does, just over and over. Also, if you fall off, you can fall off this arena. So the general gist of the fight is to not get knocked off the arena. So the boss gets a stacking evasion buff. When the evasion buff gets to 8 stacks, you can see it's like the 4th debuff on his list. It's going to be 5th and 6th here in a second. Then he'll summon a bunch of wind... He'll summon a bunch of wind elementals, and then he'll just dash back and forth around the arena. He'll do it in a second here or there. So at this point, stop attacking him. There's no point. He'll just dash through the arena. He doesn't even push people with this. It's just if he passes through you, he deals damage. It's not a whole lot of damage either. So honestly, like that guy took like 2,000 damage. I don't care. He could just stand still if he wanted. I could have told him that. Like, honestly, just stand still during this. So after you kill them all, he's going to do this big knockback. This is a giant AoE knockback. Looks like that guy might be dead. So you want to get real close to him so he doesn't knock you off the arena. Then this is where the fun begins. So now he's going to start summoning tornadoes constantly. And he's still going to keep summoning water elementals on like a marked target. So you see that Divine Mist. Honestly, as a healer, once again, I like to kind of take extra responsibility here and just solo the whole thing. Don't need to do it. Honestly, some groups just literally don't even kill it. You can see the damage output here is really low. We're actually getting really good tornado RNG also. They're kind of just leaving our party alone. You can see the Dragoon got knocked up there for a second. Alright, I'm not going to get a second spell off. Alright, so now he's in super invincible mode again. Just going to throw some regens around so people can DPS pretty freely. I'm getting kind of low on MP, so I may not want to Stone 3 all too much here. Maybe like 2 of them. Because I'm pretty far away from being able to do anything else. You can see I don't care. I don't care. So kill the last one, get close to him, but don't make sure you're not facing the outside of the arena. And then you're good to go. I'm going to just chill. Just because, you know, MP reasons. I'll throw some dots up. I can't sit here and do nothing, guys. It's like goes against my instincts from when I have a lot more MP than this. Yeah, because all of my MP regenerating tools I'm kind of low. And once again, I have no expectation that the machinist should take care of my MP issues. They're self-inflicted, and they're not critical to the success of the group. There are situations where that is not the case, and I would absolutely ask him to play some MP for me or something. It's not one of those scenarios, so he's good. I've had some of the earlier videos where like people see like a machinist that isn't giving me like buffs. So we could just LB him here because the LB won't miss, but I have a feeling they're not going to do that. So there you go. I'm just going to medic. All right. Vacuum wave interrupts me at least. That's something it definitely does. Yep, still too close apparently. And there's one left. And it's dead? There you go. There we go. Nice easy dungeon. No biggie at all. And that was nice. Let's see. I got the 40 lore bonus. I got... How much lore did I get from the dungeon itself? I got 15, so that's 55. I think the second boss was 10. I think it's 30 lore plus a 40 bonus, so it's be about 70 lore. Or dropped Razakot. I don't care. I don't care. And I'll give my player comm to that guy. The machinist, for not playing the MP song because he didn't need to. Some bards and machinists are like, you know what, I'll just play it for them, whatever. And like, don't get me wrong, if he does it, and he doesn't want to turn it off, I'll take it because it's just I'll just DPS more. But a lot of times it's not necessary. I'd rather they just play if they're gonna play like if they're gonna play a song or do like an AOE. I'd rather he turn on hypercharge, and that's it. Like, don't even worry about me. Just keep doing DPS, and I'll be fine. Personally. And that's Neverreap. That's one of the 2 level 60 dungeons. The other one we're going to be looking at, not in this video, but in the next one, is going to be the Fractal Continuum. In my opinion, the far more exciting item level 160 dropping dungeon. Way more fun. Even to this day, it's one of my favorite dungeons to do. Pretty straightforward dungeon, some high damage, some things that can really screw with your party if you're not paying close enough attention. And just better design, more fun overall. Everything about it really better than Neverreap, which is kind of a snooze fest, to be honest. After that, I won't have the item level I need just yet. What am I still going to need? Currency. I have 408 lore. And I need what? I need accessories. So I can get an accessory, an I-230 accessory. And I'll replace this ring. In fact, I'll go do that in this video. Because everything left side's 200, and most of my right side's 200. So I gotta get some upgrades here. First, I'll hand in the quest for Neverreap. Just because why not? I think it's like worth some gil or something. Right? Yeah, like 5,000 gil. No big deal. And then I'll teleport to Idleshire, and I'll grab a 230 lore ring. You can upgrade to 230 lore rings to 240. But I'm probably not going to bother with that. I'll probably save any upgrade material things that I'm going to do for my 260 to 270 gear. However much of that I may end up having by the time I actually get through to most of this stuff. Alright, so with Tomestones of Lore, we go to his mana right here. We'll go to Disciples of Magic, Accessories, and the Primal Ring of Healing. There we go. With that out of the way, I am now 197. So I said I needed, what, 205 for the Weeping City of Mach? I think that was it, yeah? Let's check. One more night in Amdapur, Seat at the Feast, the Weeping City. Maybe I should check it in the actual Duty Finder as opposed to in my journal, which I don't know why I was checking it there. Weeping City, 205, yeah. So as soon as I upgrade this next piece, I should actually be okay. I'm not going to get that after the next level 60 dungeon, so probably 2 or 3 more dungeons until we actually check out the Weeping City. But either way, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And thanks again to the Patreon user for bringing the series back in the first place. There's a dance party going on here. What is... Alright. Something's All right. Well, you know, that's, you know, you have fun. All right. On that note, I'm going to wrap up the video. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. And until then, take care.